There are legends round here, even if only in their own minds. Forgotten, but not dead. Some have tried to stop them, but they keep coming back. Coming to entertain you. They are the Crystal Lake Soldiers.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name's Isaiah, and this is episode 15. Now that we're all back on track, tonight I'm joined by Sean, Mark, and Ted. How are you guys doing this weekend?
What's going on, man?
Doing pretty good.
I don't want to talk about horror tonight. I want to talk about the Mighty Duck movies.
No, leave it up to Ted to break the flow there. That's all right, though.
Too bad.
I'm doing all right. Been kind of a long week, though. It's snowing outside again. Like we were talking about a couple weeks ago. It's like it's been doing that thing where it's like it wants to like snow on the weekends and stuff. Like I got out of work and it was like a nice coating of snow on the ground. It was starting to get slippery. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any. It's been like the 30s at night.
Oh, we're supposed to get some this week.
Yeah, we got some today. We weren't even supposed to get snow today. But it's supposed to be like 8 degrees tomorrow, so I'm just like, why can't this fucking just hold off until January when it's supposed to be this cold?
Ted's over there like, snow. It's a rare occurrence, right? It happens, though.
It happens, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Not much, yeah.
It's been raining a lot here.
Okay.
That's pretty much what's just been going down.
Well, it's been raining a lot here, too, up until it finally decided to switch over to snow, and it's like, it was like the perfect fall with the exception of the fucking rain, because it just kept wanting to fucking rain all the time. Like, this is like the first year in I don't even know how many years that we've actually had like color in the trees. So like the reds, the oranges, and the yellows and stuff. Because in the last few years, it's been like the leaves just fucking fall, like with hardly any color change. But like this year, it was like vibrant colors all over the place. But then it was just always fucking raining.
Yeah, rain's kind of typical here in October.
Yeah.
Beginning of November. So.
Yeah. Oh well.
Temperatures usually start getting cold in like December more.
Right.
But 30 isn't, that cold to me, so maybe some.
Yeah. No, I would kill for 30s. I would literally kill for 30s. Maybe not literally, but still. I'm already missing the warmer weather already. I fucking hate winter. If I haven't made that clear already in the last few weeks. But we got a decent show for you guys tonight. We actually got a lot to talk about. At first, I was worried that we weren't going to have enough to talk about because, like, not a lot was happening in the news throughout the week. But, like, towards the end of the week here, just, like, everything just bombarded every fucking site with the different things that are going on.
They're holding back on us.
Well, there's a lot we could talk about with the Mighty Duck movies. That's all I gotta say.
How about that?
Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Definitely not tonight, though. That's a different story.
V formation, go Ducks. I've been watching too much Tourette's Guy. That's where that came from, anyway.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with Tourette's Guy.
When I get back, we're gonna talk about the Mighty Duck movies.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old movies, to kind of kick things off here with some just kind of news and stuff. So the original cinematographer for Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors actually using the new iPhone 11 Pro, he recreated one of the scenes from the movie, and that looked fucking beautiful. It almost looks spot on, just different actors.
Yeah. I thought it was great, man. The stuff that a phone can do, it's amazing to me. Even though the phone's like $800 probably, but it's still pretty awesome. It's a lot cheaper than a high-end camera, so.
Right. Well, this one, for the lowest gigabyte, storage space, it's like about $1,000 for the one that he used.
Yeah, I figured.
Because he used the Pro version. But it's cool because he used the Pro version of this phone, and then he used an app called Filmic Pro, which is actually a camera app for the iPhone that actually lets you do more than what normally would be allowed to be done with like the normal factory apps that they come with. So this one, it's like a $10 app, and it gives you more range of control over what you can do, which is probably helped to get the scene set properly with the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what you can do with the technology that's out there, nowadays.
Well, doesn't that thing have like 3 different lenses on it?
Yes, it does.
Crazy that
it is nuts the amount of lenses
it comes equipped with in the first place. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's awesome. It gives people more of a chance to keep making stuff. I mean, not that it always comes out great, but more content's always good. So.
Well, I mean, you look at that movie Unsane. I mean, that was all made on an iPhone 7.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have known if someone didn't tell you that. So.
Right. So, I mean, it's definitely plausible to be able to do filmmaking and movies and videos and stuff like that with technology that's readily available. I mean, we talked about that when we did our episode with my buddy Jason and stuff, being able to use what you have and stuff. So, I mean, there's plenty of ways that you can go about doing short films and stuff like that. And it gives you hope just watching stuff like that, being like, hey, this is something I could actually do, using what I have. So, I mean, really, it all comes down to knowing how to use what you already have. Yeah, exactly. So your camera, and then having the right lighting, because if you light a scene well enough, you could have a shitty ass camera and it still could look beautiful. So it's all in just kind of trial and error. Really,
it doesn't matter what the camera is, as long as it looks good and it's shot well and gives that effect. All that other stuff is for geeks to talk about. So.
Right. But I mean, it doesn't hurt having an iPhone camera
that's why like Halloween Kills is able to film the movie as quick as they do, because they have the money and that kind of production going on. But for a lower end guy, definitely gives you hope and makes the possibilities endless.
Right, definitely. And speaking of Halloween Kills, that's our next thing here. Halloween Kills is officially wrapped filming. At least for the time being, until they decide to do reshoots. So, main portion of filming is now done. So now they can move on to post-production, getting out dailies, different things like that, rough cuts to be able to show and stuff to get feedback and all that. So, it's kind of like we've gotten over that huge hump now, and now it's kind of into the process of, just piecing the movie together now, which is exciting. I mean, we're less than a year now from the next movie coming out, and it's going to be great to be able to see as more stuff starts being revealed over the next months or however long. I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to wait till June to release a trailer like they did with 2018. So,
I could be wrong, but I'm calling it right now that the movie is going to be like the original Halloween 2, at least some of it, with maybe Michael stalking them in the Haddonfield Hospital.
I think the reason they're going to be there is going to be different, but it's going to have that same element. I was thinking the same thing.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I
don't mind it. It kind of makes me laugh, but I don't mind it. So
yeah.
It's like they're taking
John Carpenter's just a very complex man. That's all.
They're taking everything for like Halloween 2. They're just ditching the family thing, and that's it. Right. John Carpenter's like, that's the one thing I hate, so I'm just gonna give.
Yeah,
I love you, John, but get over it. Jeez, it's been
every week.
40
Ted's
years.
gonna tell John Carpenter to get over it.
Get over it, John Carpenter. It's nearly 40 years. Okay, you were drunk. You should have been drunk when you wrote the script. Get over it. That's your fault. Nobody else's. Deal with it. And I still love Halloween 2018 though. Just so people are confused. John Carpenter just makes me shake my head sometimes.
Understandable. He's done a lot for the horror,
Oh heck yeah.
Definitely
The Thing is my favorite movie.
Yeah.
But that's really with anybody,
he
though.
Continues on his outspoken ways.
Yeah.
Really is. So, I can appreciate that. So. Even if he drives me crazy, I'm sure I drive enough people crazy too. So.
Right. No, I hear you, and definitely understandable regarding Carpenter. I mean, yeah, but it is exciting knowing that we're getting that much closer to Halloween Kills. So,
yes,
we will, as always, keep you posted on any other news that comes out. I'm sure we're probably gonna come into this lull of not having weekly Halloween Kills news now, with this being finished filming. So,
hey, did we mention that Nancy Stevens is in it also, coming back as Marion? Did we mention that in a previous?
That a few weeks ago.
I can't remember if we did.
Maybe we didn't. That might have been the one that we were planning on recording that we never did.
Okay.
So if we didn't,
that's cool that she's back too.
Yeah. If we didn't mention that, she is coming back. She was Nurse Marion in the first Halloween 2, and then Halloween H2O as well. So her character
threw
is
me off when
back.
they announced that at first, and then I remembered the timeline.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, did she die? Oh, wait, never mind.
She's dead. Yeah, exactly. It's like that one.
Exactly. Yeah, they had that one shot in the, and I don't know if it was in that first look that we talked about last week, or if it was just a production still, but in one of the scenes they showed Tommy Doyle, Lindsay Wallace, and Nurse Marion all together. So yeah, definitely coming together, and definitely.
It'd be better if she was a security guard with Charles Cyphers. That would have been great.
Maybe not.
As like a retirement job.
Yeah. Like a buddy cop thing going on. Oh God, that's too good. So that's
Charles
all we got.
Cyphers is like, you let him out. She's like, I'm sorry your daughter's dead, but you know what? It's been more than 40 years. Get over it. Oh, too soon.
Ted dropping those bombs. But that's all we got for Halloween Kills for this week, and maybe for the foreseeable future until other news comes out. But hey, we may still end up with news every week, but I'm guessing it's gonna kind of slow down now that it's finished filming. Now, speaking of horror franchises that we all love, Nightmare on Elm Street. The company SpectreVision is hungry to actually produce a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Now, this is a company that's actually partially run by Elijah Wood.
Them and everybody else.
Yeah, because they've definitely expressed interest and done interviews. Now, this is the group that's behind the movies Mandy and Daniel Isn't Real. So,
oh gosh, oh no,
no,
yeah,
oh, please no.
I haven't seen Daniel Isn't Real, but Mandy definitely.
No,
yeah,
wasn't my cup of tea.
So bad. I don't know why I watched the whole thing, but I did.
It's nice that somebody's eager to get a Nightmare on Elm Street made, but I don't know if it's the right choice for them to do.
That just makes it with the dream acid. That could be some more. That would turn Freddy into an acid trip.
Well, I guess that means Nicolas Cage will be Freddy this time, right?
That's better than Kevin Bacon, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
You can see your angry Nick Cage as a Freddy.
I forgot about the Kevin Bacon thing. Yes. Oh man, we dodged a bullet with that one.
Yes. Remember Greg trying to sell me on that?
Anyways. Oh gosh.
Didn't Robert Englund say at one point that he would be a good choice for a replacement Freddy?
I think he backed it too. Yeah.
I don't know.
He just doesn't want to wear the makeup. He's like, sure, give it to that guy.
But didn't Robert Englund, after doing the Goldbergs episode, he's like, I want to do one more movie.
Yeah, he did.
So.
Yeah, he said that a year ago, and still nobody's tried to move on that. I mean, that's easy money there.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's only Freddy that matters.
Exactly.
Everybody else is just a weird cousin.
Yeah.
Why don't they just make an official Scary Terry movie? That's what we need.
That would be great. I would love to see some more Scary Terry. Oh, that would be good. So, yeah, that news is kind of weird. in very kind of like, I don't know if I really want that, but I do want a new Nightmare on Elm Street, but I don't want it to be fucked up like the remake. So.
Oh gosh, please don't mention that movie. That movie
Well,
doesn't.
sorry, I
exist.
just did. So deal with it.
You know what? I'm not John Carpenter, dagnabbit. You don't tell me.
As Robert Englund, it's already better.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I mean, they had Robert and Freddy's Dead, and that movie isn't.
Well, it's better than fucking the remake.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Sorry to
with
bring it back
Freddy's
up
Dead.
again.
I'll watch it.
Every time you mention the remake, angels die.
I guess a bunch of angels are dying then.
You monster.
I am a monster. I've never shied away from that fact. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up coming of that rumor. Yeah, I don't know.
I guarantee you, I have a feeling nothing will happen with it. It'll just be talk, and then it'll just
Probably,
stop talking. And we'll
knowing
hear it. It's
how
like everything
things
else.
go, and I mean, now that Control's back in Wes Craven's estate, who knows what's really going to happen? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't be surprised if the movies then like all of a sudden go out of print too.
I
for
wouldn't doubt
whatever
it.
reason. Yeah.
I wondered that
Because I
myself.
think the Blu-ray set like jumped in price. It was like $20-something. Now it's like in the 30s or like right at 40. So I'm thinking,
Here's
it's
a tip
already
to go
starting.
pick that up if you haven't gotten the Nightmare Blu-ray set yet.
Yeah, Blu-ray,
You never
DVD,
know.
just get copies. Just get a copy of the movies.
That's a whole other thing that could end up happening. I didn't even think about that, about them going out of print because of that.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
actually
that was
a good
Wes
point.
Craven's last wishes. Don't let them
Right?
make any more of these damn movies, please.
Let it die.
That's me.
He wasn't a big
New
fan of the
Nightmare.
sequels anyway, so
Yeah, New Nightmare just to me is the end of the franchise. That's a perfect ending to it.
Yeah,
I thought.
I agree.
Just it went meta. It was good. It was it was well acted. I mean, it was a really good movie, and I think for me that's where it ends.
yeah.
I'd agree. That is like the perfect ending for that whole series. Definitely.
Yeah.
100%. Because it kind of comes all full circle, bringing back in Nancy and all that. And
Bring back
That's how I was
everybody,
saying.
then having Bob Shea playing himself, and everybody's playing
Everybody
themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a cool angle. I like that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Nightmare movies. Definitely.
Yeah.
I loved that one growing up. That was actually I don't know if I saw that one in the theater, but I think that's the first one I actually owned. But I remember seeing that after I first saw the first one. That was the second Nightmare on Elm Street movie I ever saw. So
I actually
I
got
love
to
that
see them in order.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
one
good
of the few horror franchises I actually saw in order.
yeah,
along with Hellraiser and Child's Play. Those are like the only three franchises that, as a kid growing up, saw in actual order.
okay.
Like
cool.
Friday was all over the place for me.
Right.
I think part 2 was
Friday
the first I
was.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye out for those Blu-rays. Get them if you haven't gotten them yet, just in case. That's for sure. Kind of moving into some new movie and TV announcements and news. Hulu is developing a new anthology series called Monsterland. Now, they've already got their anthology series from Blumhouse, which is Into the Dark, which is a monthly new movie, basically, that comes out from them. So that's kind of cool that they're putting forth another horror-based anthology
Yeah, I think
series
it's cool,
as well.
man. Hulu's been back in some stuff. It's not pushed as hard as a lot of the other stuff that's coming out, but they've done some quality things, man. So, I'm
definitely
ready to see some more.
I agree. I agree, and it sounds cool because I guess this is based on a short story collection called North American Lake Monsters. So it's got some backing, from something to kind of build off of, basically. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how this turns out, and I like monster-based stuff too. I love slasher stuff, that kind of stuff, but I've always had a soft spot for monster-based stuff. So this will be interesting to see how they do this, and how they differ each episode or however they do it. But so that's kind of cool. That's coming up here. There's no real information yet on it. Not even really a release time frame, because this is all just announced.
We got Annie Wilkes to keep us entertained until they say something. So.
Exactly. Now, kind of moving on from there, this one's got me a little disheartened because why? But there is a new Scream movie that's been announced as being developed by Spyglass Media Group. Now,
I'm not interested.
Currently, Kevin Williamson is not a part of this reboot, remake, sequel, however they plan on doing it, because they haven't really said what they're planning on doing with this. But do we really need another Scream movie? Honestly.
No.
Yes, we need lots more. Let's start the trilogy over. And make Ghostface a real icon instead of some random killer that might be an old woman.
God.
That would make me interested if it was an old woman killing people in the mask this time. That would be the twist. God. Nev Campbell's like, Grandma? And it's the same reason why her half-brother in part 3 and her cousin in part 4. You're famous because you almost died. Now it's my turn to be famous. Grandma, you're 85 years old.
Right.
It's my time. It's my 15 minutes.
So can
I.
Oh, my God.
It's just...
With this, there hasn't been any other real information released on this, because this was also just announced, but nobody really knows what they're planning on doing. I'm sure they really don't, because they probably don't even have an idea of what they're doing. They just decided they're going to make a fucking Scream.
They're grabbing a name, yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly,
this
Spyglass Media Group kind of bought a bunch of Weinstein's property when they obviously went out of business, when everything fucking went tits up. So
they didn't go out of business. They just like reformed themselves into a different name with different people in charge.
They filed for bankruptcy and everything, and they had to sell off a bunch of their shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is how Spyglass got this, is because they acquired this through a sale when Weinstein was getting rid of a bunch of stuff.
Just gotta pay them.
That's weird, because you still have Miramax. Oh, I guess they're not part. They weren't part of Miramax anymore, anyway.
No,
I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I'm getting my
actually, I think Miramax
information mixed up.
Miramax is who owns that now? They're owned by
different people.
I think that one network. I think.
Ted,
of course, I know he had to sell a lot of stuff, and like as a whole, it's pretty much that's done. But you can't tell me that he ain't got some money in something somewhere to keep himself something. You know what I mean? Somewhat relevant. He'd be a fool not to.
I read somewhere that the Weinsteins, they outright own Dogma 100%. Wow. Kevin Smith's Dogma, I heard. So I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've heard, though.
It could be.
You can't amass that much money and power without having your stuff everywhere. So.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's for sure. So that's, I mean, honestly, this, I know me and you were talking last night, Sean, about Scream. Like, first one was, good. Second one, it just kind of went down after that. I just never thought that Scream as a series was that great.
4 I started getting into 4, but then they went the same direction, and that's why it failed to me, because they didn't have to, and they could have made it better, but they didn't.
Right.
So.
I thought 2 sucked, and it was too long.
I like the first 2.
Yeah.
3 I had fun with because of Courtney Cox and Parker Posey. I thought they were funny.
One thing I liked
that was funny.
Jada Pinkett Smith get killed, and then I'm good.
It's because you had the movies, and then you had the god awful MTV VH1 series.
Oh gosh, you just killed a bunch of angels.
It's MTV's fault, not ours.
I guess I'm just an angel killer tonight. I don't fucking care. But you had that shitty ass TV series, and that.
There it goes again.
But yeah, I don't feel there's any need to resurrect this series, honestly. I mean, because 4 didn't even do good when it came out.
4 was awful. Oh my god, it was so bad.
Are you telling me y'all didn't like Eric Roberts' daughter beating herself up after she thought she killed Sydney?
So fucking stupid.
And then they go to the hospital.
so dumb. It's such a shitty movie.
Does she rip her own hair out too for like part?
Something. Oh my god. I love you, Wes, but that was a mistake making that movie.
And that's his last movie too.
Yeah. Sadly enough, that is his last movie.
Yeah, I always liked some of his later stuff. Is a little touch and go. But...
Oh, Sean, you loved Red Eye. Just a minute.
God, that was so disappointing. So why did I even? Someone should have told me this wasn't a horror movie. First of all,
right?
I could go to the airport and have more entertainment just watching the real people.
Oh, definitely. Oh God.
Drop a tip to Homeland Security. Watch
right.
It
well, that's something for everybody to kind of look forward to. Is another fucking Scream movie. Go Scream.
Gosh, that reminds me of a joke that I saw on TV. I was watching I was watching a show. What was it? Oh, it's on Amazon Prime. It's Garfunkel and Oates is the name.
Okay.
So I was watching it on Prime, and they had an episode where the blonde hair girl, she's like, "Oh, hey, good news! I finally got that part in that horror film I was going for." And her friend goes, "Oh, you mean the first door on the right?" And I just started laughing. Last house on the left, first door on the right. I was like, "That's great."
That is good. That's funny.
Yeah.
First door on the right. Remember, it's only a movie. It's only a movie.
It's only a reboot. It's only a reboot. No! Not another one. So, yeah, sad news, Scream being made. But anyways, moving on from that disappointing news. Eli Roth's History of Horror is going to get another season on AMC. I actually really like this. Kind of going through kind of the history of a bunch of different things with horror.
It's better than
stuff.
a lot of the horror docu stuff. So I don't mind getting another season.
No,
it's good to, anything that's putting out the info and helping people learn that might not know. And even people that think they know it all learning some new shit. So.
Oh, definitely. You can always learn something new, especially when it comes to this. I mean, there's such a widespread, history with horror. I mean, even just with movies and stuff, you're talking over 100 years worth of content. You could make multiple seasons on this and kind of go through all the history and stuff. So there's just so much there. It's so much rich history.
And at least he loves the genre, so...
Yeah, I mean, he's not that great of a filmmaker, but, I mean...
He's passionate, though.
Yeah, he is passionate. And that's great. I mean, he's doing what he loves, so if he wants to make more of these seasons and stuff, I'm all for it, because I absolutely loved it. I actually binge-watched that whole first season when it actually went to Shudder, so... Oh, cool. Yeah, I completely
I started watching it
thing.
I haven't watched it all, but I did start watching it on there a couple months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I took like a week or so to watch that whole season. I watched a lot of it, so it was great. I loved it. Yeah, so I'm excited for a season 2 on this. I think it'll be good to explore a little bit more and get deeper into that. So, moving from there into some more disappointing news, Paramount is set to release another Paranormal Activity movie in 2021.
Yeah. I'm like, why?
I didn't even see, the last one or two, so...
I didn't either.
Yeah.
They touted the last one like every fucking franchise does as being the last one, but obviously we knew that wasn't.
I saw the one with the Spanish family, and I think I saw parts of the one with the blonde chick and the Xbox with the green dots.
That movie made no sense whatsoever.
I don't know which ones those even were, but that's the last one.
That was the fourth one. That was the last one I saw because it made no sense story-wise with the other three. I was like, what? I'll just say I don't care. It was spoilers, whatever. Because the baby that gets kidnapped in part 2, you find out this family has adopted him, which doesn't make sense because this family doesn't know about the ghost stuff. So I was like, once he got kidnapped by his possessed aunt, why would she give him up for adoption just to take him back? It doesn't make any sense. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Another spoiler alert, because it gets even stupider beyond that. Because then you find out it's not even ghost shit. It's all fucking witches. It's a witches' coven.
Yeah, I thought
that was in part 3.
Yeah, whatever. I thought that was a weird turn too. I was like, how'd this go from some random demon to...
to witch stuff.
I guess,
yeah.
Yeah, that got revealed in part 3. I was just like, why would they finally get this kid that they were, supposed, because, they promised, the firstborn son of the family?
Yep.
Which hasn't happened in 80 years. I don't know how the crap that doesn't happen, but okay, whatever.
Right.
And then they, give it up for adoption to a random family that doesn't know anything about it. It's so bizarre. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. The story is just... is off the rails now. There's no logic. I just stopped watching them after that one. I mean, the first movie wasn't anything special. It was boring.
Yeah,
I didn't mind this.
A little overrated.
Yeah, I didn't mind the second or third one because I was like, they're trying to do something. It seems like, and then part 4 just ruined it 100%. Because I was like, they don't even care anymore.
I agree, because then they started putting shit like the very last one. They put time travel into it.
Oh, wow.
Basically, the very end of the movie, they go back all the way. This guy travels through this portal and goes all the way back to the end of the first movie.
Oh wow!
So it's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb.
Sense?
They put fucking time travel. Because in the first one, at the end, when you hear her scream or whatever at the end of the movie, it's the guy showing up in their house, basically.
That's cool.
Even though she's possessed.
The whole thing of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb. It's so stupid. Yeah, they should have left it with after the third one. Just left it be.
That was the only good part of the first movie in the first place, is when she screams and he runs down there and you just hear all this crazy crap happening, and then his body flies toward the camera and then her face is all contorted or whatever. That was the best part of that movie. And now it's because some random guy from the last movie travels through time and ends up in her house.
Just scared her, Ted. She didn't expect it. She was slightly startled.
It still doesn't make any sense because then what happened to the guy? The guy who traveled in time, did he get killed too? When
I'm guessing so.
That doesn't make any sense. This is stupid.
Portal, just wait and see.
It's the ghost dimension. It's not supposed to make sense.
I guess not.
So stupid.
You have to educate yourself.
Right.
Busta Rhymes running an internet reality show in the Myers house makes more sense than this crap. Jeez.
Oh, it's so true.
Baggy overalls.
Motherfucker.
We should attribute that line to Donald Pleasance now instead of Busta Rhymes, just to mess with people.
Right.
Go to Donald Pleasance's headstone, it's just trick or treat, motherfucker. Michael! Trick or treat, mother!
A little bit.
Darn. Another stupid Paranormal Activity movie. Just what we really needed.
Yeah, your favorite, Ted?
Not really. Definitely don't need another one of those.
What was that, Mark?
So it's your favorite.
I couldn't hear.
Now,
my favorite is Babysitter Massacre.
So, on to some more promising news. Now that we've gotten those two
Part 3 of Bloody Murder
dumpster. That would be interesting. Oh
I'd be
my
more
god!
interested in that than those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But something a little bit more promising. So David F. Sandberg, who did Lights Out, Annabelle Creation, and the Shazam movie, and he's done a bunch of horror movie shorts, over the years and stuff. He's actually working on a new horror film, and it's called The Unsound, and this is based off of the Boom Studios graphic novel or comics. I can't remember which it was, either or. And basically kind of the premise of this is there's a psychiatrist who returns to the insane asylum where her mother once worked and is now a patient. And there's like some horror that's been unleashed in there, so it sounds like it could be cool. I mean, anything to do with fucking insane asylum just fucking creeps me out. So
yeah, that's always creepy me out too, man.
Yeah, me too.
So.
I don't have high hopes because the guy did do Lights Out.
Lights Out wasn't that bad. I mean, it was his first movie.
Man, Ted's being a hater tonight.
Like his stuff has gotten better after that.
So. I haven't seen much of his work to really judge it.
Because I really liked Annabelle Creation a lot. I agree that Lights Out wasn't the greatest.
I haven't seen any of the Annabelle movies because they just don't appeal to me.
The first one I saw and I hated it, so I never bothered. But I heard they got
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, the first one was terrible. Second one was great. Third one was okay, basically. So if you want to see any of them, I would see the second one, Annabelle Creation. But the other two are very forgettable. So
I'm not into the Conjuring universe. Find it lame.
Yep, I understand.
Why does everything have to be a universe now? I mean, jeez.
I hate
that's because Marvel.
I hate that too. But I haven't, the first two Conjuring movies, I didn't mind. Those weren't bad. Movies.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Marvel's been the only one that's been able to successfully do it, and that's because they took their time with it. Everybody else, they just see the money, they see the profit margin. They're like, okay, let's rush a franchise out now. Let's rush a shared universe out now. And it's just like, oh gosh, it doesn't work. How many times have they rebooted the Dark Universe? Like 3 times now, because each movie that's supposed to start it fails miserably. It's like, how about just focus on a movie, and if it leads to something cool, just concentrate on making one good movie. You don't have to. You would think
they would do that.
You would think, but they're just trying to use the first movie to set up everything.
It doesn't have to necessarily be a shared universe, but you can throw little tributes and things like that, and still, it doesn't necessarily connect the movie. Just so the viewers can go, "Oh, cool, remember that." Like, it doesn't have to necessarily have to be a whole big universe where everything has to connect.
Problem is, these studios, they don't see it that way. They see it, Marvel's connected to everything.
They want it to be bigger than that instead of like a show playing in the background. You can think as the viewer, oh, cool, remember that? It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Just, oh, remember that's the show that was playing in the background on that one.
Right. Like Adam Green's done that.
You don't have to actually, exactly. You don't have to actually make it connect. Let the fans have their little fan theories.
When you watch Hatchet 2, during the beginning, when Mary Beth goes to talk to Reverend Zombie, there's a TV in his shop, and it's playing like it's like a news thing, and it's the girl from Frozen. So they all take place in the same place, but it's just little nods. It's just like they name drop.
It doesn't have to be
a big thing, and like they name dropped what's his name behind the mask, Vernon Wells.
Vernon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Leslie Vernon. I said Vernon Wells. I don't know what I was thinking. But, I mean, they name drop it, but that's it. Just because why not? But it's not like, oh, they're gonna have a versus movie now. Victor Crowley versus Leslie Vernon.
Overkill, man.
Yeah. So it's just, I'm tired of it. It just doesn't appeal to me.
I hear you. I totally hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the whole Conjuring universe thing is going to get played out very, very quickly because, I mean, it's been going downhill. I mean, the 2 Conjuring movies have been good, but every other thing that's in this universe or whatever, other than Annabelle Creation, hasn't been that great.
I haven't been able to get into it. I like the director of the Conjuring. I think he's doing better work than the actual universe that ended up getting created from his work.
Right.
Well, so you have the Conjuring movies and you have the Annabelle movies. Isn't there like The Nun? Isn't that part of it?
The Nun was terrible.
Like
Never see that. Trust me.
Yeah, see, I heard it was awful. I don't plan to because it looks stupid. But isn't
that one could have had a lot of promise, but they fucked that up.
Didn't they do the new movie that
Insidious ones? I can't remember.
That's connected to The Conjuring.
The new movie that came out, The Curse of La Llorona or whatever, isn't that part of The Conjuring?
Llorona or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Damn,
Curse of
Ted
my
is being
butt.
a hater today.
He is.
Dude, I'm tired of this
that
universe
one,
share
The Curse
crap.
of La Llorona, it's kind of based in the universe. I mean, it is ultimately because they talk about some of the other events with like Annabelle, but it could stand out on its own too. It's an okay movie. It's not a bad one by any means. I actually enjoyed that one for the most part, other than a few things here and there. But yeah, I mean, it's still kind of that thing where it's like, they're not great, and it seems like the quality's going down, other than, you know, the main Conjuring movies, basically.
That implies they had quality to begin with. Don't do this to people, Isaiah.
I think the first and second Conjuring movies were good. It's the other stuff that leaves a lot to be desired.
I'm looking forward to the 5th reboot of the Dark Universe, and maybe Universal will get it right this time.
Oh, we'll talk about that here in a minute with the Dark Universe thing. So kind of moving on from that, kind of looking at some of the upcoming movies based off of trailers that were released this week. Number one, coming out on the 19th of this month, so November 19th, we've got The Fair. Now, I like the concept of this because I love these Groundhog Day type movies where it's like, the story kind of plays out as it kind of repeats. The trailer got me hooked. It looks pretty good for an independent film.
Man. It reminded me of a movie I saw probably 15, 20 years ago called Dead End with Lin Shaye. It looks pretty good, man. I'm willing to give it a shot for sure.
Yeah, so that's,
I thought it was good.
Oh, definitely. So that, when it released on the 19th, that's going to be on both Blu-ray and video on demand, so you'll have some options there for being able to see that. So that one's exciting. Now, coming up December. Now, this doesn't have a release date as of when we got the story on this, but BBC, who seems to be doing a lot of cool shit lately, you know, between War of the Worlds and every other thing, are doing kind of a more creepy, horror-esque version of A Christmas Carol.
The trailer, I was like, oh, geez, another Christmas thing, you know, another Christmas Carol movie, because there's so many of them, and there are some good ones, but the trailer got me a little excited because this looked extremely dark, man. Like, it didn't even, like, at first I was like, am I watching the right trailer? So,
right.
So it's cool to get, a dark kind of thing. I mean, because it is, you can get really dark with it and still come across with the same outcome and message. So
exactly. So that's going to be cool, because because that's kind of more of a mini series, I believe.
That's
from what I was reading on that.
Yeah, that's the way I took it and watched the trailer.
So that's something to definitely look forward to, especially if you like more Christmas-based horror. That's going to be something I'm going to add to my watch list for December for sure.
Yeah.
That's exciting and cool. Now, coming out on the 3rd of December is a independent movie called This Is Our Home. Now, this one, it looks okay. It seems a little weird because this kid just shows up out of nowhere.
They should have just whooped that kid's ass and got rid of him.
Right. It's like they had a couple miscarriages and then all of a sudden...
Toss him from the bridge, Mom.
Right. So this couple has a couple of miscarriages or whatever the case may be, and then, you know, all of a sudden this kid just shows up on the doorstep and they just start taking care of him like he's their own or something. I mean, that's kind of what I was seeing. There may be more to the story, but that's just the trailer just kind of makes it look a little weird that all of a sudden this kid shows up and they just start taking care of him like they're
out of desperation.
This kid's their own.
You know,
yeah.
They assimilate the role only to find out that they shouldn't have.
Turns out to be a little bastard. Now they regret it. But jeez. So it could be good, but it could be bad too. Just I don't know. It's just the trailer made it look a little off.
It did look a little off, but who knows?
But
Killer Kids can be fun sometimes if it's done. Right,
definitely,
so.
definitely. Now, kind of going a little bit more weird here. Coming out January 24th of 2020. The new Nicolas Cage movie based off of an old H.P. Lovecraft story. Now, I love H.P. Lovecraft stories and everything, so this one's got me excited.
I tell you guys, this is the first step. He's going to be Freddy Krueger soon.
Jesus. So the movie's called Color Out of Space, and the trailer is fucking trippy.
I was glad it finally had a trailer. I've heard about this movie forever now, man. I've been waiting to see a freaking trailer, so I was just excited to finally see something, man.
Oh, definitely.
But it was definitely weird. But H.P. Lovecraft can be wild and weird.
He's always been weird.
But just because it's Lovecraft, I'm going to give it a go. So
exactly. I love the whole alien aspect and just like the colors. I mean, they've made it very vibrant with colors and stuff.
And I've never read the story myself, but it's supposed to be one of his better stories. So.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. With that statement on that. Yeah, it's good. I know sometimes his Lovecraft can be a little hard to read sometimes. I mean his stories are 100 years old, so sometimes it can be a little tougher, but
be in the right
his
frame of mind.
Right, exactly. But yeah, this one's pretty good. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. So that one's got me excited. Now, moving from there into February, so coming out February 28th, and this is the movie out of all 5 of these movies that I'm most excited for. It's The Invisible Man.
Yes.
It looks like they are
so good.
finally doing this dark universe right.
I had zero hope at all because, like Ted's been talking about the terrible dark universe shit. And some of the actors said that they were going to try to put in it, but the trailer looked awesome, so who knows?
Yeah, we don't need Johnny Depp. We don't need Johnny Depp. We don't need Tom Cruise. We just need, unknown, not very known actors, actresses, and, just like I said, make one good movie, and then you can just kind of go from there.
Exactly.
This looks like it could be good, so. Of course, I'm kind of a sucker for invisible people movies.
Oh, definitely.
I loved Hollow Man and even the Chevy Chase one, Memoirs of an Invisible Man. So I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I'm just excited that the Universal's finally doing the right thing and not going action adventure and going fucking horror.
It just looks like a horror.
They got fucking Blumhouse involved and decided to finally go fucking horror. They went low budget horror, which is what they should have done all along.
Yep.
And
not action films.
No. Not like $200-300 million fucking action films that are gonna bomb every time you do them.
Possible meets The Mummy and shit.
Right. You'd think they would have learned after Dracula Untold or whatever it was, but no, they fucking went back and did the fucking Mummy this basically the same way, and they fucked themselves over again. Yeah. And finally, they gave it to Lee Wynell, who co-wrote Saw and basically wrote a bunch of the ones that James Wan, directed. So he knows horror, and I think he's the right choice for doing it. And I'm excited to see what he did with directing it. So yeah, I'm very much excited with this. The trailer looks amazing. Everything about it so far looks great. So exciting. Very excited for February to come around to be able to see this.
Yep,
and then maybe we'll get some proper other ones like Frankenstein and Dracula. Maybe we'll finally get some horror-based ones for those.
Isn't it funny? Something so old and that was so great has become one of the hardest things for them to make a good movie for.
Yeah, you would think that they would know how to do it. They've been doing this for almost 100 years, but no.
Because of the classic
they fuck it up.
It's because they're trying. They're trying to appeal to mass audience, so they're just like, "What is the mass audience like? Oh, action! So here you go, lots of action, lots of Tom Cruise running, like the Mission Impossible movies. People like those movies,
Which makes no sense.
I mean,
they're always thinking from a money angle instead of thinking from a movie angle. That's why sometimes the executives get in the way. Those original movies were not they became big things, but first of all, they weren't like huge. Like some of them, they're pretty cheap on production value, and they're just good dark stories. A lot of them, it's watching the monster suffer and what he goes through. So
yeah,
and they completely miss that all the time.
Yeah. You'd think they would know better, but obviously not. But whatever. Hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Hopefully they're going to right this course and do things properly. Definitely. So that's kind of what we got for trailers and stuff that kind of, announce some movies that are coming up here. Kind of moving in a little bit of Blu-ray news here. Shout Factory is releasing My Bloody Valentine. I believe that's coming out before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's coming out early February.
Awesome. The thing that got me really excited with this is the inclusion of the unrated cut.
Yes, finally.
It's a new transfer of it.
What the hell? Finally. I was happy about that. I mean,
the unrated cut's been available.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think it's been on Blue. I was just glad.
Yeah, I've got the original Blu-ray.
All right.
I have the original Blu-ray, and it is the unrated cut. So what's new about it is that they're actually doing some restoration work on it, so it doesn't. I guess it looks better. That's the news right there.
Because I've seen the unrated cut. There are it's an old movie. It's one of my favorites though. So anytime
this is what happens when you let Isaiah do Blu-ray news. He doesn't get all his facts straight. But also, I'm taking over this segment because
that's fine.
I'm just better. I'm just kidding.
You can't have it, Ted.
Give us some news, Ted.
The classic slasher film Edge of the Axe is getting a Blu-ray release from Arrow Video. In January 28th, 2020 is the release date. I remember seeing the VHS cover for this, and I've never seen it, but I remember seeing it in the video stores. But Edge of the Axe. We have Jay and Silent Bob reboot is finally available for pre-order on Amazon. It is coming to Blu-ray January 21st, 2020. Really looking forward to that. And Shout Factory has detailed their entire Fly Collection release. Lots of new special features and old special features for each of the 5 movies. Lots of new commentaries, the old commentaries, documentaries. It's just packed to the brim. And the Angel trilogy was announced by Vinegar Syndrome as their secret trilogy. Well, not so secret because they pretty much gave it away in their description for their little hint. But it is being released this month on Blu-ray in a limited edition box set. I'm sure it's going to be like the Amityville box set that they released where...
Why are they doing this?
No. Let me finish, Sean. Jeez. Let me finish. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Just like their Amityville box set was limited, the movies aren't limited. It's the box that's limited. Well, they will release each movie individually, like they're going to do with the Amityville box set. So you still will be able to get the movies if you don't get the box set. It'll just be a little bit later on, maybe a couple of months.
Unacceptable.
Well, that's the best I got. So, Sean.
I thought it was their fault, but now it's yours, so that works.
Now it's just Ted's fault.
I'm just going to tell what I told... I'm going to tell you what I told John Carpenter. Get over it. You're still going to be able to get the movies in
I don't have to get
glorious
over
HD.
That's right. You got your safe space and you can complain about whatever you want.
Go cry. But that is coming out. That's going to be interesting. Tammy and the T-Rex we already talked about, but that's coming out too this month. Good old Tammy and the T-Rex. The Gore Cut, as it's being known as, fully restored in 4K. And it'll be Vinegar Syndrome's first UHD release. So...
Yep.
Paul
That's
Rocker,
sure.
Terry Kaiser, Buck Flower. It's an all-star cast. It was robbed at the Oscars that year. Darn it! You can tell. That's all I gotta say about that. And House by the Cemetery, which we already talked about, is still being released in January from Blue Underground, 4K transfer, and a CD also being included, a 3-disc limited set. So that is going to be awesome.
Boy, House by the Cemetery. That's why that's.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's the one.
Yeah, it's not a bad.
In full glory.
You want to choke him.
that makes the movie more entertaining.
Yes, it does.
Because you can laugh at it's the dubbing is what it is. The English stuff for that kid was terrible.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious. Yeah. What's that? You know what we need? We need a movie where like a 50-year-old guy dubs a little kid's voice and it'll just be hilarious. Bobby, what's going on there, Bobby?
That's a little weird, but that's funny.
That's
God,
what I'm saying.
Be creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Some gravelly voice, 50-year-old man. Be a little off-putting.
That's what makes it special.
Especially if he did like a little girl. Yes. He was dubbing a little girl.
Oh, that'd be even better. You want to have some tea with me, Bobby?
Remember in
Let's play dolls.
When the one dude comes back and he's the little girl. But anyway.
Yes, McNulty.
God.
None of your lip, trooper.
Yes, they are.
What? I'm gonna be 16 years old. Guy's gonna try to get in my pants. Art LaFleur, that guy's great.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for the update on the Blu-ray news there, Ted. Good
oh, you're
have
welcome.
A little bit more. We appreciate it.
You better.
Well, when you put it that way, I don't want to appreciate it.
I'm still mad about the box set.
Right?
You can be mad. Y'all can watch your Conjuring universe, and I'll watch the short films on Troma's Nukem High Volume 2 Tuesday, which is called Merry Christmas to My Wife's Butt. Yes, I'm not making that up. That is a short film that's going to be on the special feature.
I'll be joining. I want to watch those too, man. Volume 2.
Yeah. And there's a tribute to Stan Lee, Lemmy, and Joe Flushaker that's going to be on the disc. It's listed on Amazon. So, and that comes out Tuesday, everyone. Tuesday.
It says
I say
you
order
get it on
now.
Amazon for $20.
I can't wait. 5.5 years, about time. Yeah, but at least we got it. At least we're getting it.
Well overdue.
Yes.
Now, we are in part 2 of our 3-part series here, discussing different types of characters in horror movies. So, last week we talked about our favorite final girls. This week we are talking about sympathetic characters in horror movies. Now, this could be either, side characters or whatever, main characters, or even villains. So, and then we'll finish off next week with the least desirable characters in horror movies and people you just want to hate.
I'll tell you what I can think of right off the break, not to cut you off, man. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. But I think it's Ed Hardy, Lance Henriksen's character in Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's just
he regretted what he did.
He regrets what he does in the first afterward, and he was just he killed his kid. So you can, you know what I mean? He was just being human.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead's a classic. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the last poor guy trying to help them kids in Jaws, man.
Yes. Yes, that's a good one.
Damn you, Jaws.
Why couldn't you have spared him?
What about the old man in Friday 5? The caretaker?
Oh, yeah.
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 Reggie the Reckless's grandfather, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's another good one.
There was something more with him. I wasn't too sad.
Sean's suspicious. Sean is suspicious.
Reggie and Demon around. Something wasn't right with Grandpa.
Now, don't you get any trouble running around with Demon, you hear me?
How about, I guess you say it, Mary, in Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
That's
just wanted to go to a concert.
Yeah, that's the whole point of that movie.
Yeah, just random act of violence.
Or even like Jennifer from Last House on the Left. Talking about one of our final girls from last week.
You mean I spit on your grave?
Shit happened to you. I mean, how can you not sympathize with that woman?
Do you mean I spit on your grave? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I spit on your grave. I'm sorry.
I'm taking over this segment again. No, I'm just kidding. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I was thinking about that movie, First Door on the Right. So
yeah, that threw me off.
Well, I'm gonna say. People are gonna laugh at my selections, but I'm gonna say Bucky from Halloween 4 because he's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that was on my list too. Poor guy was just trying to do his fucking job.
He stood up to Myers like a boss, and he's just like, "Don't play that Halloween crap with me." I was like, "This guy's so cool." He's like, "I'm calling the cops. You stay right there. Don't you move a muscle."
Right.
It's like Bucky's mad. He's just like, "Man, stupid kids coming around and messing," and then he gets thrown into the generator and fries. Poor Bucky. Bucky's a hero in my opinion because he stood up to Myers.
I agree.
What about John Buechler's character in Hatchet?
Yeah.
All he wanted to do was to warn people to stay away so they wouldn't die.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And then he helped Mary Beth. Didn't realize that who she was exactly. And then he's like, "Get out!" And he's like, "I didn't know who she was." When Victor Crowley shows up, I did know who she was.
Yeah.
And gets his freaking intestine ripped out, and then his head popped off. Poor John Carl. I'll say Shelley from Friday 3. I felt sorry for the guy too.
Yeah. Poor guy just wanted to get laid.
He didn't.
Even though he was terrible at his attempt, but he still felt bad for the guy.
He was just awkward. That was the thing. He didn't know how to proceed. I guess.
Joey from Part 5.
Oh, I feel sorry for that dude. He gets laughed in his face. At least Shelley. I'll put Joey above Shelley because at least Shelley didn't get laughed at his face. She wanted to be his friend, but here he's like, I want to make love to you, and she just Robin just freaking laughs at him. You're just like, what a poor guy. I was kidding, and he's a stutterer too. He says, "I was kidding," and she's just laughing. He's like, "I was just kidding," and runs away. And I was like, "Poor guy."
I just finally saw Hereditary, and I felt bad for the whole freaking family. So
yeah,
that shit was depressing.
Oh
dude.
Man,
when she's screaming and the husband's holding her, and they pan over to the hallway, and you just see the son standing there, all like, "I fucking hate life." I was just like, that shit made me depressed. It cheered me up about the bad day I had. I was like, my life isn't bad at all.
I'll say Jamie Lloyd from the Halloween franchise. Yeah, she has the worst life out of any character in that franchise.
She really did. She got fucked over.
Yeah, she did.
She definitely. It doesn't end well either. Like, it just all goes to shit at some point. So.
Any of the kids from any of the Elm Street kids, because they didn't deserve that, because they're not the ones who burned Freddy. No. I mean, geez, all of them. They just felt sorry, and then when he started, going through Alice and taking kids who weren't even Elm Street kids, you're just like, darn.
Yeah.
Poor Debbie.
Even looking at some of the villains, I mean, you look at Candyman and how he just totally got fucked, into that whole situation.
Yeah, I was just talking about that recently. I was like, even like as badass as Jason is, it's like the whole story is just kind of a tragic ass story. That's the whole reason it is the way it is.
Yeah,
Cropsy from The Burning. He didn't ask to be burned.
Cropsy's a good one.
Yeah.
What's his face too? And is that Slaughter High?
Slaughter High. Yeah. The geek who got acid splashed.
Supposed to be a prank, but those are just some asshole kids. But.
Yeah, they got what they deserved. If you take into account that it might all be in his head, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. The ending kind of really made it go.
Confuses me, but I just say, fuck it. He killed him. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Or the ending could be him like dreaming it up, and then he's escaping to actually do it. You never know.
I saw Carrie, man.
Yeah, Carrie, she definitely didn't deserve the stuff. She's got a crazy mom, and then she's bullied heavily at school. I mean,
that scene in the shower, it's like, fuck, dude, that's so realistic to high school and how it can be. I don't care if now or whenever. Yeah, it's fucked.
I can't wait to see Lord Kaufman's take on it in Nukem High 2, because I know it's in there. Because Volume 1 ends with the green liquid going down her legs, and she screams. I saw part of the trailer. It looks like the girls are doing the same thing, throwing tampons at her. Man. I was like, this is going to be an excellent movie. Man, I freaking can't wait till Tuesday. I want to take the day off and just wait for the movie. Get about the movie and watch it.
Another one that's hard to really not feel sorry for is Angela in the first Sleepaway Camp. I mean, you look at what happened, with her, losing her sibling in the very beginning, then being forced by her aunt to fucking dress as a girl.
Yeah.
And being just totally fucked in the head because of all that.
At first she loses
and then to be picked on at camp.
Fucked over mentally. Like, you can't blame her.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's just, that whole fucking story is just fucking terrible with what happened to her and shit. And it's almost understandable why she fucking just finally snapped and started killing people. I mean,
yeah, because even like kind of touch on it, like the whole sex thing was confusing to her, anyways. Yeah, because of the father. I guess they were playing the angle that he was gay, so that she didn't understand that, or he didn't understand that, and then is told that he's a girl, and so who knows what that would do to someone.
Take off your clothes. So. The next thing we see is poor kid's severed head.
Yeah, that's
that whole movie screwed up. You got freaking known pedophile who's in the kitchen staff, and people just laugh at him in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the young one.
How about
what did he call them again? He called the underage kids what? He had a name for them in the movie.
What the hell was it?
Ew.
I don't know. It was disgusting though.
And then James Earl Jones's father. And then James Earl Jones's father is just.
He's like, oh, that crazy pedo.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? Yeah. It's such a screwed up movie. I love really Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp 2 is my favorite of that franchise because that's just they just went nuts with it.
I agree.
But yeah, Angela definitely just got the bad end deal there, and then
Child's Play.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Exactly what Chucky said in Curse of Chucky. I did something better than kill him. I killed his childhood. I was like, now that's evil right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the evil Chucky I remember, not the I'm gonna kill Britney Spears and see the Chucky or whatever. That's why I love Curse of Chucky so much, because he's just so freaking evil.
Could you imagine just losing your whole fucking childhood? Like that, I mean,
because of a doll.
That kid, holy shit! I didn't even think about that. That's so wild. He went through a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he nearly gets possessed. The cops won't back him or his mom's story up. So she gets thrown in the loony bin. He gets sent to a foster home. And then after part 2, he just went through from foster home to foster home until just being thrown in a military academy. And just, gosh, it just went through so much. The only difference between him and Jamie Lloyd is that he lived. She didn't.
Right.
That's the whole...
So did Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah,
you know, when you
Tommy
were
got
talking
the
about
guy.
Part 5, I was thinking of him. Like, out of all the movies, Part 5 really shows how broken that shit made him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one of my favorite parts
Yeah.
of that movie. Is that
Oh,
aspect.
definitely.
So y'all saying Chucky versus Jason, and we have a Tommy Jarvis, Andy Barkley team up? Is that what we're talking about? Just do the Nightmare Warriors comic book in movie form, man.
I wish they would, man. They've done so much. I just want to see that now. So.
Yeah.
Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Fucked it all up. Why not go with that? Everybody enjoyed that. So.
Yeah.
Got a couple
Right.
movies there too. So.
I agree.
You can make
It's
a
already
trilogy
written.
out of it.
Yeah, it's already written.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You just gotta make it.
You just got to get Sam Raimi on board and Bruce Campbell for the Ash character, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, then I guess you could just invent another character and just, get rid of the Necronomicon and make it some other evil book or whatever. I mean, you can easily manipulate it around the Ash thing.
Yeah. What about Crispin Glover in Part 4?
I really
got laid.
I never felt sorry for him. Yeah, I was like, I never felt really sorry for him because he was a fodder. I mean, you could say that about Joey and Shelley, but they had something.
I was joking. I really wasn't serious about that.
Well, I'm serious because I take my horror serious. Okay, so so I'm with Sean. He died happy, so he's
Yeah, he did. But going back to, because I was going to say Joey from Part 5, because, I mean, he just wanted to help people out. I mean, yes, he got chocolate all over the fucking sheet. But he wanted to help people, just do work because he wanted to be a part. And just everybody kept rejecting him.
Yeah.
He wanted friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Hey, Vic, want a chocolate bar?
I always felt
You're really
sorry
out of line.
for Leatherface, man. He's just a product of his fucked up family.
Pretty much.
I think you're really out of line.
Like, especially in Part 3, like when you see him trying to mess with his speaking spell.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a big
Humans,
kid.
he spells it Food.
Oh, man. That's good.
I tell you who's evil in Texas Chainsaw 3, that little girl, man. She's
Yes.
oh my goodness.
He's gonna be worse than he ever was.
Yeah. She's like, let me pull the line and splatter this guy's brains everywhere. I was like, holy crap. I was also going to say, I feel sorry for Demon from Friday 5, man, because he's just in the toilet.
Yeah.
Singing
Have
Ooh
bad
Baby.
enchiladas, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Never use the outhouse without getting killed.
Oh, man.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. You're going to get it now.
How about Clint Howard's character in Evil Speak?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Clint Howard in fucking 3 from Hell.
3 from Hell, Evil Speak. Let's just say Clint Howard in general.
Clint Howard in general.
His characters kind of get crapped over on some horror movies there.
He's had a great career, but his characters have definitely not.
No, that's for sure. Oh, man.
Yeah, Evil Speak,
Oh.
man. I wanted all those guys to die because of what they did to his little puppy. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Freaking kill him. I don't care.
Yeah, they were mean.
Just
It's
kill
like,
him.
damn, they killed the dog. These guys are like just deranged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy with the ending of that movie when he killed
Yes.
everybody.
It's epic. I cheer
Yes.
him on. I don't care.
And 3 from Hell was hilarious, but you still felt sorry for him. You're going to clown heaven.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh.
Oh,
Got it
He
all
said, "You're
planned
gonna
out.
let me
first.
free." I've seen enough horror movies. If some killer guy says he's going to set me free,
it's not going to happen.
You're just going to kill me. Set me free from this.
Right.
Because you don't like it.
I'll say Buddy from Slaughterhouse. He's just basically a mentally handicapped person whose dad's business, pig slaughtering business, has won out, and they're trying to run him off the land, and it just kind of his dad coerces him to, his dad basically is like, we're going to get them back, and starts killing them off one by one. It's like, and he makes friends with the pigs, which is funny because, he has like his pig friends there. That's like his only friends. That is dad. You just kind of feel sorry for him. I love that on the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, they actually had PSAs with Buddy and his father about smoking in theaters. It's hilarious. They put it on the disc.
That's great.
Yeah. If you don't have Slaughterhouse on Blu-ray, pick it up now. You can watch the Buddy PSAs. They're in character. It's great. But yeah, I mean, you feel sorry for him. I'm trying. I kind of feel sorry for Jamie Kennedy's character in the Scream movies.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in love with Neve Campbell, and she was a tramp and didn't love him back, and he died for it anyway. Stupid Neve Campbell. Randy would have treated her good. But no,
Yes,
she had to date Jerry O'Connell, who dies also. Where'd that get you, Sydney? Nowhere.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. Randy is a good one. That's for newer ones there, because like once it got to like the 90s and stuff, you really stopped caring about a lot of the characters. That's for sure.
Harder to be sympathetic. Maybe that's the formula they started missing on. Why the movies aren't as good.
Because you didn't care about it.
It really wasn't until recently, because after the 90s and then like the early 2000s up until the last few years,
2000s really ramped it up. My goodness, when you just didn't care about any of the characters and you're just like, just die already. I don't care.
Right. I agree. And that's why they're starting to get back to that, but
that's why I really was drawn to like Adam Green stuff, man, because I actually cared about the characters in the Hatchet movies, and he made Frozen, which I cared about those characters, and I was like, okay, Adam Green. I like it.
Didn't, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I like Adam Green. Joe Lynch is okay. He's not great. Wrong Turn 2. I didn't like as much as the first one. People seem to love that one the most. I just didn't see it.
Man. I thought it stunk.
I didn't see it. I didn't see like what the big appeal was. I didn't mind it, but I didn't love it. I love the first one. I thought the first one was really fun.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
And I only went to see it because Eliza Dushku was in it, but I ended up enjoying the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Eliza.
I don't know.
Ooh.
True Calling, remember that show she did? That was an interesting story.
I do remember that show.
I just like to watch Bring It On because she's in a cheerleader outfit. Like,
yeah.
The new guy, I thought that was hilarious. But she's not the star.
Yes.
That little skinny.
And that's gonna be our show in 2 weeks. We're gonna have an Elisha Dushku
drilling tribute, whatever.
Tribute. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the freaking name. Yeah, the tribute. We're gonna have a tribute talking about her in cheerleader outfits. So
Oh, good lord.
She's not a future ex-wife, but she's a fling I have on the side. So.
How many ex-wives do you have, Ted?
I'm gonna have a lot. I just gotta get to Hollywood first.
Oh man, that's good.
Yep.
Hollywood's
It's not bad having a plan.
I'll say here's the character it just entered my mind is even though we don't talk highly of I Know What You Did Last Summer, I feel sorry for Sarah Michelle Gellar's dad in that movie because he loses both his daughters, even though he only has like 1 second of screen time when he's like asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, this guy lost his whole family because this strange killer. So I feel a little something for him, poor guy.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Well, you could say Sydney's dad even. His wife was just a whore.
Yeah.
Now he's tied up in a closet and shit. What's going on?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
It was just on a freaking business trip.
He didn't make it to the business trip. That's the problem.
He did the first year.
What if you know what? I think about this. What if he actually made it to that business trip? And then, like, what would have Billy and Stu's plan would have been then? They'd have been like, "How are we gonna do this now? we screwed up the time. We smoked too much weed, man." Because those guys definitely were smoking some doobies there, you know.
Some nice doobies.
They're smoking some heavy doobies. He just blames Stu. It's like, it was all Stu. He killed everybody. He's the mastermind. It's like,
Right.
Stu's an idiot. It's funny, like, one of the plot threads for Scream 3 was like, Stu was controlling the killers from jail or prison because he survived. And I think Kevin Williamson mentioned that at some convention. And when he said that, everybody just started laughing because that was like the dumbest thing ever. Like he couldn't mastermind himself out of a freaking paper bag. He's so stupid.
Right.
Live her alone, man. Live her alone. Get it? I was just like, man, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Right.
people like that guy a lot. I've
Jeez.
never been big on him.
Here's my last one that I have for sympathetic characters. Poor Reggie. Just wanted to be laid. Never could get laid in Phantasm.
Yep.
Any of the movies, he could, like, never get laid.
He just kind of got thrown into a bunch of mess too.
Yeah, he did. He really
He just
did.
came
It's
over to
like,
play
he just
guitar.
was... And, yeah, got in the middle of everything.
He's a
Part
good
2
friend.
lost his whole family.
Being a good friend.
Yeah. It's like, then the whole last movie's based on him basically dying. I mean,
Yeah.
this whole thing, it just
Well,
constantly... just
that last
turmoil.
movie opened up the whole. There's so many alternate universes, like
Yeah.
in existence. It just went full on, just weird, and I loved it.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I highly loved that movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be probably my last one that I could think of for sympathetic characters.
I
You
got-
guys got any other ones that you
I
want
got-
to add in? Or?
I got 2 more
I
quickly.
got a good one.
I'll let Mark go first, though.
Go ahead, Ted. Go ahead, Ted.
No, you go ahead, Mark, because I got 2. You got 1. Just go.
Okay, fine. Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot all about that. I didn't even think about that.
Frankenstein's monster. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Okay, I've got 3. I've got 3 because you just reminded me of
See,
something else.
I'm an inspiration.
You are. You're a wonderful human being, Mark. You never forget that, okay? First, I want to say Larry Talbot from The Wolfman in its
Okay.
sequels.
Yeah.
Same
He
idea.
did not want to be a werewolf.
Bothered him so bad.
He-
He tried. He wanted to figure out how to cure it and everything. I just watched that movie. So.
Yeah, he wanted to kill himself in the
Mhm.
sequels because he's like, I don't want to kill people.
Yeah.
I can't control myself. Please, I just want to die. Like Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is one of my favorite films because that's his quest. I just want to die. I want to die. I don't want to live with this curse. I don't want to hurt people.
Kind of set
And
the
it's
standard
just
for
like, darn.
every werewolf movie too. Like,
Yeah,
that works anyway.
he
Right.
just feels so sorry for the guy. And then like when House of Frankenstein, he has somebody who actually loves him, but the only way to cure him, they say, is the person that loves you has to shoot you with a silver bullet. And it's just like, oh my goodness, this is terrible. And then it's a love triangle because the Hunchback loves her, but she loves Larry, and Larry just wants to die. And it's just, I just feel sorry for the guy. I also feel sorry for the final girl in The Prey, because even though she survived, it's not a good existence because she's basically going to be a baby factory for the crazy guy in the woods. That's how the movie freaking ends.
Wow.
You see the close up of the cave, and then the way the scene transitions, it's like the passing of the seasons. And then it shows a cave, and you hear a baby crying. You're just like, holy crap, she's just going to be a baby factory for this monster now. It's horrible. It's a horrible existence. I love that movie, but dear Lord, that's such a dark ending.
Yeah.
And,
oh, my God.
Yeah. I love that movie. Not because of the ending. I just love it because it's a good movie. But then my last pick will be Rachel from the Halloween franchise, of course, because... she was unceremoniously freaking killed off in part 5. It's just...
It's weird how they did it. I always thought that was odd.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way...
Yeah, they just kill her off right there. Yeah.
Really epic way, either.
After everything she went through in part 4 to protect Jamie and succeeding, she runs around in a towel, which I'm not complaining, but she runs around in a towel and dies then. And then just scissors. I mean, I like in the interviews and stuff how she said they originally it was going to get like rammed down her throat, and she said, no, I'm not doing that. So they changed it to her just like getting stabbed. And the scissors, like, I guess in the heart or whatever. I'm assuming that's what it was supposed to be, but
I think so.
Poor Rachel. She just loved Jamie and wanted to protect her, and she didn't even really get to do that in part 5. That went to Tina.
Nope.
She was gonna leave. She just needed to take a shower first.
Right.
I was like, take a shower at the cabin, leave Haddonfield.
I did not feel it.
They should ban Halloween in this town.
Right.
I'll tell you one. Anyone who had to sit through Resurrection.
Yep. I don't feel sorry for anybody in that movie. I don't feel sorry for the security guards in the beginning. I don't feel sorry for Lori. I don't feel sorry for anybody in that stupid house. I know it's the Myers house, but I'm just going to say stupid house anyway. I don't feel sorry for Busta.
That was the most
I don't feel
Myers house I ever saw.
The Myers house I don't mind in that movie.
No, it was pretty spot on.
It's pretty spot on a replica of it, but
from the front,
it's still just
they're in the house. Some things are odd to me and seem out of place, but I don't know. Anyways,
better than Part 5's house,
the Gothic mansion.
Yeah, that made no sense.
No, definitely not.
They just did.
I feel sorry for Myers.
Scene. That's all that was for.
I feel sorry for Michael Myers in that movie because he had to be in that movie.
Right.
And he got karate kicked by Busta Rhymes. There's a part in the movie, because since I just watched it for Halloween, there's a part in the movie where I was like, I'm just going to watch it because it's part of the franchise. But there's a part in the movie when Busta Rhymes is doing his karate stance stuff, and Michael just looks at him, and it's like Michael saying, is this crap really happening? It's like the way he moves his head. He's like, is this for real? Is this what I've been reduced to? Like, come on. So even Michael knew his bullcrap.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'll fake getting burned, and then I'll just escape the morgue, and just be done. Go back to my underground.
Great. So yeah, there's plenty of sympathetic characters, at least in a lot of the older stuff, and some in newer stuff. But like I was saying, kind of in the 90s, in the 2000s, really wasn't a whole lot of sympathetic characters you could really relate to or feel sorry for, because Like
Yeah.
you, Ted, I've just in a lot of those movies in that time frame, I just really fucking wanted them to die because they're fucking annoying.
I don't feel sorry for them at all. I don't care about them.
But yeah, there's plenty, especially older movies, that you can find a lot of sympathetic characters. But yeah, next week we will be touching on and discussing the characters you fucking hate in horror movies. There's a lot of them. And that's going to be fun to talk about and why we hate them. But as always, we would love to hear from you guys, hear what you guys think. Is there anybody that you found that you were more sympathetic for, in horror movies? We would love to hear it. You can always reach out to us through social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at CLS Podcast. Otherwise, until next week, we appreciate you guys checking out the episode. And as Ted always says...
What? No, I'm just kidding. See you next week.
Thanks for joining us today for the CLS Podcast. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.